Hi, this is Chris with Invest LYH, and today we're going to go over a property that just hit the market yesterday on 4/7/2022. And we're just going to take a quick look because one of the questions that I get from a lot of investors that I meet with is what is the if the costs are less than the mortgage, that means the cash flow is positive. Is that correct? They ask me, Chris. And I go, well, it kind of depends. So let's take a quick look. First thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to do a quick screen share of the property itself. Give me just a second here. All right, let's jump over to the property. So this property is 1324 Ruffner Place in Lynchburg, Virginia. And the reason why I wanted to actually pull up the listing this time is because I wanted to go in and just show where I get my costs from. So the first thing I do is I take a look at the listing and I just kind of take a look at the description, see if there's anything in there that's like glaring. A lot of times I saw one recently and it said it was an FHA 203K loan, which tells me there needs to be some work done, which means you have to add some more work into the cash into the calculation to do the cash on cash return. This one actually looks pretty good. And then when we scroll through the pictures, you can kind of see hardwood floors. I love that. It looks like it has little turnover, little amount of money that you're going to need to turn it over for a tenant. It looks like it's a pretty good house. Some people might call it maybe a class B, class A house in a class B neighborhood, or a class B house in a class C neighborhood. A little bit of wear there on the railing, but it's an older home, so you can kind of expect some wear. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, or what first thing I wanted to do actually was to show you that where I get the price. Oftentimes I come down here, I update the interest rate for what I think an interest rate would be for, let's say, an investor. So with that, what I got was the $826 as my monthly cost. And that was again, this is always step one. So keep that in mind. This is not set in stone. It is always step one to be verified at a later date. So let's go ahead and take a look at one other thing, and we're going to look at the average rents in the area. And you can see here on Rentometer, it shows me that my average rent is going to be $1,050. And so you say, Chris, $1,050 and $826, that's about $200 in cash flow. Well, is that true? So let's take a look at the numbers. Let's go ahead and jump into the math here. Give me just a second here. All right, let's take a look here. Let me get my pen out. Let's slide you over a little bit more. So we know that the price of the property is $149,900. So 20% of that is going to be $29,980. Okay, so that's our denominator. We always know that, right? So now we need to come up with the numerator. So let's take a look at what is the income? It was $1,050. And what are the expenses? The expenses are the $826, which right there, it would be cash flowing, right? It would cash flow positive, but we have to remember the other assumptions that we include in here. Property management, 105. Property management is always based off the rental price. It's typically 10%. Sometimes you can get it down as low as 8 or 7%. I have heard of people going 6%, but they typically have multiple units. And I mean like 10 units or more. Next, we got to do 5% vacancy and 5% repairs to build up your repair fund. So that's going to be 52.5. So for a total amount of costs, it's going to be $1,036. Now, 1,036 minus the 1,050. Now we can see that that number is not really looking all that good. That's only $14 in monthly cash flow. Now, yearly, it's $168 for a year for annual cash flow. So that's our numerator. So now we just need to take the 168 let's do it in blue here, 168. And we're going to divide that by the 29,980. And the calculation that I came up with was actually 0.56%. Now, I say all this to say that even if the cash flow is $1 every month, which would be $12 a year, that is still positive cash flow. And I know an investor who has 38 homes right now who started out with their very first home, and it was a $1 cash flowing property. So it can be done. Do not be discouraged. It can be done. However, in the market that we've been looking in here in Lynchburg, Virginia, there are better opportunities out there. So please keep an eye on the other opportunities. It's great to know these properties, the Ruffner places, because now you know what we can do with, now you know what we're comparing to. We're comparing this property to other properties that are out there. And hey, here comes Batman. You guys remember Batman from a few videos ago, my cat. You just gotta know your market and know which one is a good deal and which one is a average deal. And I would say this is a pretty average deal. So keep that in mind as you guys are out there investing. Let me stop sharing the screen here so you guys come back to me. Keep that in mind as you guys are out there looking for investments, knowing what an average deal is so that you know if you exceed the average deal or not. I would even say that this is probably a below average deal. But I mean, there's a deal out there for somebody. So keep that in mind as we go through these videos. Thank you guys so much for watching it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Have a great day.